I used to dream about showing the world what I dream about. Forget a mic, my whole life I thought it'd be the mount. I guess it's fitting how life threw me the curveball. Pops told me work till you make it, man, then work more. I guess I took that to heart, cause I've been working harder now.
Welcome back to another episode of Mom's Basement here on iTunes and YouTube. As always, I'm your host Joe. With me again is Corey. We welcome you back. You heard our NFC predictions for the NFL this year. Now this episode, spoiler alert, it's the AFC, the other conference in the NFL. We're going to give you the breakdown. The NFC is a pretty tough conference. That was tough picking 6 teams to make it into the playoffs. The AFC, opposite side of the spectrum, not so tough. To me, a lot of these divisions are cut and dry. It's going to be very easy. A lot of the same because you got the best quarterback of all time in one of these divisions. You got consistent quarterback play in another. I mean, so we kind of know what the the AFC is more than we know the NFC. This is going to be a little bit easier, but let's dive right into it here on Mom's Basement. The AFC East, you obviously had the returning Super Bowl champions, the New England Patriots, the comeback in the Super Bowl.
Remember when you picked against Tom Brady?
I did pick, and I was looking freaking phenomenal through the first half. I'm like, oh, I just snaked Corey. I just won this. I won the bet.
Never gave up.
And, I had to wear the Sox jersey on the podcast, and I hated it. I hated it so much, and I actually did say to myself at halftime, you know what? Just because I did this, they're going to blow the game. I said it to my roommates, Edgar and Sean, and they were like, no, dude, you got this. No one's blowing this lead. Well, it happened. They blew the lead. Patriots win. Tom Brady wins his 5th Super Bowl, greatest quarterback of all time.
The Patriots are going to win the AFC East.
They're going to win 12 or 13 games, maybe 14. And because they're going to
USA Today has them at 16-0 for some reason.
They're going to spank the Bills twice. They're going to spank the Jets twice. They're going to beat the Dolphins at least once. That's 5 wins minimum right there, just in their division. So, yeah, they're going to win this division. It's not going to be close. Talk about the Dolphins with Jay Cutler. We're going to be high. We're going to be high on the Dolphins now that they've got Jay Cutler. I think he's better than Ryan Tannehill. I think he pairs up phenomenally with Adam Gase. We've actually already seen him pair up phenomenally with Adam Gase. He's got a better run game here. I think J.J. Young, he's going to be raring to go. He's a different running back than he had with Matt Forte. He's got weapons with Landry. He is going to be very well off in Miami, and they have a better defense than what the Bears had when he was on the way out. Mm-hmm. So I think Jay Cutler going to be very well off in Miami, win 9, maybe 10 games. He could sneak into a wild card. We'll get into that later on after we finish these divisions in the AFC. And then obviously the Bills and the Jets are both dumpster fire teams.
Jets may not win a game this year.
God, yeah, they might win between 0 and 2 games. They're going to win.
Yeah.
They're going to be terrible.
And the Bills will be in 3rd there. But I feel the exact same way. Patriots, Dolphins, Bills, and Jets.
Like we said, a lot of cut and dry. Now moving toward the AFC North. This one's probably the best division, I would say, in the AFC. You got the Steelers, the Ravens, the Bengals, and the Browns. The Browns are kind of the wild card. They're going to be in last place. They're not good.
Literally a wild card team.
Right, yeah. I don't know the word I'm looking for. It's 1 a.m. So we're gonna keep it at that. They're going to finish in last place. And I worked for like 15 hours today. Cut me some slack.
I'm just making fun.
I walked into my house for the first time at, when do we get back here? Like you'd say midnight. I walked in here at midnight for the first time since 8 o'clock this morning. So that's like, Corey, do the math. Is that 20 hours?
No.
How many hours is that? 16?
Yeah.
Okay.
16.
I don't do math. I'm not a math person. Sorry. I hate that that's on camera.
Alrighty, so the Cleveland Browns are going to finish in last place and probably end up with the top 5 pick.
Yeah, they're going to be in last. And then the top 3, these teams, they're 3 teams that play each other extremely tough every single time. The Ravens and Steelers always seem to split. The Bengals are a good team. Andy Dalton, obviously very formidable, mid-level quarterback in this league. Giovanni Bernard. They got Joe Mixon, who for some reason everyone thinks he's going to start right off the bat. I think that's crazy. They got Jeremy Hill. There's a 3-headed monster in the backfield. A.J. Green, one of the best receivers. The defense is crazy with Vontaze Burfict. That guy's an absolute animal who just wants to torch anybody in his sights.
Something I didn't look up before we actually started the show, but how long is Joe Flacco going to be out for Baltimore?
It's something we can look into because the Ravens season is going to highly depend on Joe Flacco being on the field and playing. Joe, did he leave a game or did he leave practice with an injury?
Well, he is not practicing currently at the moment.
Okay.
I'm going to take a quick look, but at the moment, right now, it doesn't really matter. I'm picking the Steelers to win. The
Steelers, I think, win 10 games, and that's going to be enough to get this done. I'm really reluctant to kind of say it's going to be Big Ben because I think he's towards the end of his career. I think he's been beat up and battered.
Yeah, there's a photo that I don't know if it went like quote unquote viral, but there's a photo of him after a Steelers practice where he has 4 ice bags on his body. He's got ice on his right shoulder, right elbow, and both knees. I mean, that guy's coming down to the end of it. But
yeah, but he's got Le'Veon Bell.
He's still got Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown. They're still very well coached. I don't think that there's. I think they win that division. I think. Let me see. As far as let's see, they're not expecting him to. Well, they're hoping that he's back sometime in the next 3 weeks, Joe Flacco, so he can start the regular season. So I think that if he doesn't miss any regular season time, that the Baltimore Ravens will finish second in the AFC North. Bengals third, Browns fourth.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bengals to finish in second. Ravens will go third. It'll be a game difference. If it's not going to be huge. The Browns are going to be way down there. I mean, sheesh, who's going to play quarterback for them? Brock Osweiler? Really, it should be Kaiser who plays from week 1.
Yeah, DeShone Kaiser, yeah.
He's been lighting it up in camp. They like what they've gotten him. They got him as a steal.
They got to get the quarterback position right at some point.
They sure do. Brock Osweiler, let me newsflash for you. He's not going to be the answer.
He's a better version of Mike Glennon, to be perfectly honest.
They actually made out in that trade. They got picks. They got picks from Houston to take their quarterback.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying from a pure football perspective, Brock Osweiler is a slightly better version of Mike Glennon.
Sure. I mean, he's not worth it. I mean, Hugh Jackson, he probably already knows that. Listen, Kaiser's going to be the guy that's going to take a majority of the snaps this year. So I mean, hopefully, I like DeShone Kaiser.
Yeah, I'm a fan of DeShone Kaiser as well. I'm hoping.
And one of my sleepers this year, not really a sleeper, but a guy who is kind of off people's radars, is Isaiah Crowell, the running back in Cleveland. I think he's going to have a monster year. He was good last year, but I think they're going to run the ball a lot more this year. And he's that big bruiser back, so I mean, he could have a individually good season out of him.
While we're talking about the Browns, I got to feel bad for Joe Thomas, the left tackle.
Did you see the video where he names all the quarterbacks he protected? It's awesome. 18 quarterbacks, and he named them all. He had some problems with some. I almost thought he was going to forget RG3.
I'll take a look at that. But I mean, you got to understand, this guy's the best offensive lineman maybe ever. He was I think the 3rd overall pick in 2006 or something like that. It's been a while he's been in the league, and he hasn't even had a sniff of the playoffs.
There's another reason that Isaiah Crowell is going to have a huge year. They got a good offensive line. Yeah, I mean, so you have to find that video after we're done here because it's awesome. I think it was like an E60 thing. They're like, can you name everybody you protected? He's like,
God.
Oh man, how many is it? They're like 18.
And then you just see a list of 18 shitty
quarterbacks. Somebody had the list from like that jersey.
The jersey, yeah.
The very famous Browns quarterback jersey. Yeah, but moving on from the AFC North, we go to the AFC South. This is a weird division for me. Mm-hmm. The Colts, the Titans, the Texans, the Jaguars. For me, one of my teams that's going to be coming up this year is the Titans. I think they're going to be very, very good. Mariota has been solid. They drafted receiver number 5 overall. They signed Eric Decker. They have DeMarco Murray. They've got a very good offensive line. They drafted Conklin in last year's draft. He was probably the best lineman out of that draft.
And then one piece to look out for, too, on that offense is actually Derrick Henry, the running back they drafted in the 2nd round last year, too. The dude's a bruiser. I think at some point this year he'll take over for DeMarco Murray. I don't know if I believe DeMarco Murray's breakout, quote-unquote breakout year with the Titans last year is something that he can sustain, but regardless, I think the Titans are going to have a very good offense.
And Andrew Luck's had injury problems here, so the Colts, I mean, Andrew Luck carries that team. When he plays well, they're a good team. Like we said, elite quarterbacks can make up for a lot of flaws, a lot of mistakes.
But I think this isn't really the exception to that. But I mean, when you look at the Packers, since we talked about this argument with the Packers, when they have Aaron Rodgers, sure, he covers up a lot of flaws, but he still has players like Jordy Nelson, and he still has players on their defense like Clinton Dix and
Nelson would be the
Clay
equivalent
Matthews.
for T.Y. Hilton in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
I mean, he does have some offensive weapons.
But at the same time, the Colts have drafted like dog shit.
Their defense is terrible.
They have drafted horrible, and they're expecting Frank Gore to carry the load at age 34. I mean, one of my fantasy sleepers, I took him this year, was a rookie running back they drafted named Marlon Mack. I think he could be something, but honestly, they're not a very good team. They got really lucky that Peyton Manning got hurt, and they lucked into Andrew Luck, and he got him to a couple playoff appearances. But
I see what you did there.
Yeah, I see what I did.
Yeah, luck into luck. Yeah. They got extremely lucky. I like to see them fail just because I think their owner's a piece of shit. Jim Irsay, I think he's garbage. So I like to see them fail. The
So
Titans.
we both have them in last place.
I do not. I have them in third.
Oh, you do?
I do
Interesting.
because I'm gonna have.
You're going to hop off the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Listen, last year, if you watched our video,
Yeah, we were so high on the Jacksonville Jaguars.
you probably didn't watch the video. But if you didn't watch the video, go back, watch the video where we did this last year. And if this is the Jaguars bandwagon, we threw ourselves on it, and I'm the conductor on the train. I'm choo choo. I mean, we are driving this thing.
Yep.
And they let us down.
Yeah, you know
so
what?
hard.
We made a huge mistake as far as buying.
So I'm going to do the opposite this year. I am going to jump way off the edge of that cliff.
Yeah, I'm not going to for one reason, and the reason for that is rookie running back Leonard Fournette. Some people call him the best player in this previous draft. He was certainly the best running back in this previous draft. I really think that he can, have one of those Jordan Howard, Ezekiel Elliott type years where he just absolutely is a monster, and he can will them to a few wins to where I think they can escape last place in the division. I'm really excited to see him. I actually drafted him as my second running back in fantasy, so we'll see how that goes for me, hopefully. But I think that the Jaguars have, because we hyped up so much talent for them last year that actually bombed, but I think they have enough talent to finish in third place.
I'm going to go Titans, Texans, Colts, Jaguars in this division, and I think the Texans. Listen, they did it last year with no quarterbacks. Brock Osweiler, Tom Savage. I mean, no quarterback play.
Now they have Deshaun Watson.
They drafted Deshaun Watson. J.J. Watt's healthy. He's going to be back. I mean, they had the best defense in football without the best defensive player in football.
Yeah, and
Jadeveon
Clowney's still a motherfucking
And this is going to be the first year where Clowney's kind of figured it out now. He's a force, what you thought he would be when he came out of South Carolina, number one pick. J.J. Watt on the other side. That's going to be a extremely dynamic duo. They could combine for 25 sacks.
I think so.
I mean, it's going to be very fun to watch.
But yeah, for me, I have Titans, Texans, Jaguars, and Colts.
I'm going to flip on the Colts, Jaguars. I think I'll be right. Just like last year when I predicted that the defending Super Bowl champion Broncos would not make the playoffs. Corey was like, you're crazy. They're going to make the playoffs. I was right. Corey was wrong. We'll have to see here.
Who was right on the Super Bowl prediction, though?
Well, I mean, in the end, you were right in the Super Bowl, but it was looking good for me. Now, moving to the AFC West, are they still Oakland? They're not in Las Vegas yet. Oakland Raiders.
Oakland Raiders, yes.
I think are going to run away with this. And one reason. Derek Carr.
Start
the car. Amari Cooper, Michael Crabtree.
Marshawn Lynch
Marshawn Lynch is huge for this team.
He's just here so he doesn't get fined.
Khalil Mack is an absolute stud. I mean, the defense is good. The offense is good. As long as Derek Carr is healthy, this team will run away with the division, win 12 games. I think they're going to be followed up by the Chiefs, who are always in it. Andy Reid does such a good job with that team. Alex Smith is what he is, but the defense is good. They rush the quarterback very well. They're very opportunistic.
That's another team, too, to watch. When does their rookie quarterback play? When do they give Patrick Mahomes some time? And, even if he does get time this year, I'm not sure that he will in many circumstances, or any circumstance. But, I do think the Chiefs are better than the Chargers, even though the Chargers still have, Phillip Rivers. Poor Phillip Rivers.
I think the Chargers are the last place team in this. I'll put the Broncos in third, Chargers in fourth.
I'll put the Chargers ahead of the Broncos just because the Chargers have a quarterback.
They don't have anything else.
Well,
they don't got anything else.
I don't know if you've seen the Broncos quarterback play this preseason, but it is dreadful. Their first round pick from a couple years ago, Paxton Lynch, has been absolute dog shit.
You were higher on Lynch than I was. I didn't think he was anything special. So
I thought he could have been solid, but he just hasn't been very good to this point.
And the Chargers, I mean, their first round pick this year is going to be out for the year. Mike Williams, so there's a weapon for Phillip Rivers. Down the tubes, their defense isn't good aside from Bosa, who they took in last year's draft. He's an absolute animal, but that's all they got. I think that's going to be the race for last place between Denver and San Diego. Raiders are going to win this division. It's not even a contest. And now we've got the division winners. I think we agreed on the Raiders, the Titans, the Steelers, and the Patriots. We agreed on division winners across the board. Now let's move into the wild card. For me, I am going to go with the Texans and the Chiefs, as much as I want to put Jay freaking Cutler in the playoffs, because I love me some Jay Cutler. If you don't love Jay Cutler,
I don't love you.
There's the door right there. Get out.
There's actually a door right
There's actually a door right there, and you should go through it.
No, for me, I got the Texans because, like we said, they made the playoffs with no quarterback play, and I think Deshaun Watson could be better than, hopefully Tom Savage.
If he's not better than that, then
they wasted a draft pick, to be
traded up.
honest. But the Houston Texans, and Baltimore, I think, is feeling a lot of pressure. The Baltimore Ravens, assuming Joe Flacco doesn't miss too much time. I think it's 3 of the last 4 years that the Baltimore Ravens have missed the playoffs.
And Jeff Duchesne.
Yeah, at Jeff Duchesne, because the dude picks Baltimore for everything in fantasy or to win a Super Bowl. But I will give the Baltimore Ravens a playoff spot this year, and if not, John Harbaugh might be out of a job.
I can't believe you just said the Ravens are going to make the playoffs.
I did.
I cannot believe that. We're going to disagree heavily there, especially over the Kansas City Chiefs. So you're picking the Ravens. I'm surprised because one, I thought if you didn't go Chiefs, you'd go Cuddy. I'm just surprised. I don't know. You could have your pick. That's fine. I'm not gonna discount your pick until you're wrong, and then I'm gonna pull the clip, and I'll be like, roll the clip.
Part of the reason for me picking against the Chiefs is I just want to see what kind of shakes out their quarterback situation.
Sure, I'll give you that.
I mean, I've Patrick Mahomes.
I don't think Mahomes sees a snap this year,
and that's unfortunate because he was my QB1 in the previous draft, and I think if he does see significant playing time, I think that the Chiefs could make some sort of playoff run, but I think they're very we talked about them as an Andy Reid football team. Sure, they'll be in most games.
They're just there.
They're just kind of like a blah team to me, and I think the pressure that Baltimore feels is either going to make them crumble or give them one last little run at it. But it's the last playoff spot in the AFC, and no, I couldn't go with Cutler and Gase, and as much as I really want to.
You know how badly I want Cutler to win 13 games? And just so I can just spite people on Twitter. I will, if they make the playoffs, I will tweet Jay Cutler gifts every day,
Jay
day
Cutler is
long.
Great. I love Jay Cutler.
I love me some Jay Cutler.
I don't know.
Wish him the best. Honestly,
Yeah.
Prove me wrong, Jay Cutler. But that is all we have for this episode of Mom's Basement on iTunes and YouTube. We thank you guys so much for listening, watching us on YouTube, do this thing that we do every single week. We greatly appreciate that. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, leave a comment, let us know what you want to see, any more videos you would like to see out of the channel as far as content goes. We would greatly appreciate that. As always, for Corey, I am Joe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next week.
I take a couple shots, I'm feeling good again. I told my girl that I was going straight home, yeah right. I hope she doesn't see the photos on my phone. Alright, I done a couple things you'll never hear about, like when I passed out, inside and in and out. I told my mama I was going straight home. I got arrested climbing telephone poles.